Hello, my lovely love bug goodies. Welcome back to your girl channel. Life is Juliana, and I'm here with your requested vegan recipe. How to make vegan curry goat recipe Jamaican style in your kitchen like 1, 2, 3. And I'm here to bring it. So be sure you subscribe and turn on your post notification settings to be reminded every time I upload a brand new video. Make we jump right into it. Okay, love bugs, let's get right into the recipe. Now I have my seasoned meat that has been prepared earlier from a prior video, and I will in fact list that link down in the description box to show you how to prepare your seasoned meat for cooking. Now the first thing you want to do is get a clean paper towel and pat dry into your meat just to remove some of the excess liquid that might have been in your meat, which I'm pretty sure there might be liquid there, but you want to go ahead and remove as much of the liquid as possibly can. Now I'm going to cut my meat into my desired pieces. You could also use just your hands and break into the meat to get it to where you want it, or you could use a knife like I'm doing here. Either way, your meat is going to look like that. It looks very natural. This meat is filled with so much flavor. You are going to love this recipe. I also have another vegan curry goat recipe, Jamaican style, and I will also link that recipe down below. It's a very different technique that I use to achieve that particular recipe, but it's filled with flavor nevertheless. Okay, moving right along, as you can see here, like I told you earlier, you could either break into the meat or you could cut it with a knife, but that is exactly how your meat is going to look, and it's going to be perfect either way. But just make sure you get it into the pieces that you feel comfortable doing, and you're good to go. Now, if you're still here watching me cooking, be sure that you have subscribed already and turn on your post notification settings. That way you will not miss one of my uploads. You don't want to miss them. The vegan recipes are coming. Now, after I got done doing that, I went ahead and put it into my container that I'm going to be using to season my meat. And I'm going to give this meat lots of flavor. To get started, I added some salt, and I will also list everything that I use here down in my description box, so check that out. I went in with a tad bit of that black pepper, and I think I used about a pound or maybe a pound and a half of the seasoned meat for this recipe. Now I did go in with some onion powder, and to the onion powder I also went in and added the garlic powder to the mix. Now, to give it more added flavor, I went in with my OXTAIL combo season, and you could also substitute that combo season for all-purpose seasoning or any other season of your choice. Now, to the combo season, I added some meat season, and to substitute your meat season, you could also add any kind of a season that you like. Okay, now it's time to add my curry powder, and I'm using the OXTAIL jerk curry powder in the mild. I seem to love me some OXTAIL, but again, you can substitute for whatever brand that you like. I did go in with the grounded ginger, and you could also add fresh ginger to the mix. It's going to settle everything, right? Now, this is my green season that I made at home, and I will also list that link for the green season down in the description box. This green season is massive. It smells good, and it makes your food taste so good. So I will list the link for the green seasoning down below. And to get started, I only added about a tablespoon of the green season just to get the meat started. I went in and gave it a good mix, and again, I have to tell you guys, you do not have to let it sit and marinate, because your meat, your vegan meat, was cooked in lots of flavor prior. So you do not have to let this meat sit and soak up anything at all. Once you season the meat like I'm doing here, you go straight into your cooking method. Now this is the other veggies that I'm going to use: onions and tomatoes and skeleton thyme, bell peppers, garlic, pimento seeds. I'm also going to add some more of the green season to it later on. I'm going to also add a scotch bonnet pepper, but as usual I'm gonna pop that, and some potatoes. And the potatoes are optional, but I'm going to in fact add my potatoes to this recipe. Now to get the recipe started, I'm going to go in with the coconut oil and I'm going to add it into my pan. Now after I did that, I went in with some chopped garlic and add it into the coconut oil, and I'm going to allow that to toast for about 30 seconds on medium heat only. Now, after about 30 seconds, because you don't want to burn your garlic, you just want to get those nicely toasted so it starts up with flavor to give your meat a whole heap of flavor, right? That flavor we're talking about. Then you go in and you add in your vegan meat to the mix. And you could also add some curry powder into that oil, but there's no need to do that for this recipe, as we are going to toast the curry powder alongside the vegan meat to give it extra added flavor. Now, after you've done that for about a minute and a half, it's time to go in and add your vegetable broth to the mix. And I did add about 3 cups of the vegetable broth just to get it started. Now, you don't want to use water for this recipe because water is going to take away from the flavor of the vegan meat. So make sure you have some vegetable broth. You can make homemade as well, but make sure you have some vegetable broth for this recipe. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and cover it up on medium heat and allow it to cook for about 15 minutes. That green season is giving me love right here. Love, lots of love. Now, after 15 minutes of cooking on medium heat, that is what it's going to look like. Perfect, and the smell is amazing. Amazing. Now I did go in and had about a teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar because I do not cook anything without my apple cider vinegar. So it's optional for you, but it's a must for me. So I went in and had a teaspoon of that. Now to the apple cider vinegar, I went in and added all my vegetables, like my tomatoes and my onions and some more of that good green seasoning and the pimento seeds and all of that good stuff. Let's go ahead and yank all of that in. Just like that. Just like that. And my fire here is still on medium heat. Just go ahead and combine everything well. Now, after you have combined everything, you're going to make sure that those potatoes are cooked. So I went back in and added about 1.5 cups of the vegetable broth to the mix, making sure that my potatoes are cooked nice and tender. Now to the veggie broth and all of that stuff, I'm going to add some coconut spread, my vegan coconut spread, and I did purchase from my Aldi supermarket, and I think I added about 2 tablespoons of the spread to it. Alright, so once again my fire is still on medium heat and it's good to go. All I'm going to do here is just go ahead and cover it up and allow it to cook for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, it has simmered and it is done. That is what your vegan meat is going to look like. Your curry, Jamaican style curry, vegan meat, yes, that is what it is going to be looking like. Perfect and filled with nothing but flavor. You are just going to love this recipe. I'm also, like I said before, I will also link that very first vegan curry goat recipe by me do on my other channel, how to cook. I'm going to list it down below. So if you don't want to do this one, you can do that one, but you're going to love any of them. They both taste amazing. Look at that. That vegan meat is everything. This vegan recipe, this authentic vegan curry goat recipe, is no joke. You have to give it a try. Once you try it, you will never forget the flavor because it will leave a memory in your mind. It is so good. It tastes just like meat, and the flavor that is coming from this thing is no ordinary flavor. It is massive. When you serve this up, ain't nobody going to even think that this is vegan food. They are going to be surprised. Now, Goody, be sure that you are spreading the love with friends and family. Tell them what's going on over here and bring them, come and send them, come. I am waiting. After you don't do that, tell me where you want to see me cooking in my kitchen next. And as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy!